It began with a tremor in her voice, barely audible but enough to shift the air between us. I kissed my ex. The words didn't echo, they just landed, quiet, heavy, final. Outside, rain pressed against the window like someone desperate to get in. Behind her, the faint shape of the Eiffel Tower glowed through the misted glass. Paris, our dream, blurred into nothing. She was crying. I watched the tears, each one tracing mascara down her cheek like an admission she couldn't retract. She said she regretted it, that it was a moment of weakness, that she'd do anything to undo it. I said nothing. Regret means nothing when it arrives too late. Her hands reached for me, trembling. I stared at them. The same hands I had imagined wearing a ring next month. The same hands that had now touched someone else. The clock ticked behind me, steady, indifferent. The scent of rain filled the room, damp and metallic. I whispered, "Everyone makes mistakes." Her sob cracked into the silence. She thought it was forgiveness, but forgiveness wasn't what I had to give her tonight. I looked down at the envelope in my hand, 2 plane tickets, non-refundable, Paris, her birthday, the place I'd planned to ask her to marry me. She didn't know, not yet. The night before she had been distant, a different kind of silence, the kind people carry when they've already decided to betray you. She had smiled too softly, avoided eye contact too long, and when I asked if something was wrong, she said, "No, I'm just tired." Tired. That word has buried more relationships than lies ever could. Later, while she showered, her phone lit up on the nightstand, a name I didn't recognize, a message preview, "I miss how you used to look at me." It was the word "used" that broke something inside me, not the message, the implication that there had been something, recently, to miss. I didn't open it. I didn't need to. When you've lived long enough with someone's rhythm, their patterns, their breath, you know when a note is off, and hers was. That night I lay beside her, staring at the ceiling, her soft breathing beside me. I didn't touch her, didn't move, didn't sleep. In the stillness, I could feel the truth forming like frost inside my chest. By morning, I knew what I'd find. By evening, she confessed it herself. And now, here we were, face to face with the wreckage she'd built, the ashes of what I'd planned to be forever. The week after her confession, I became a stranger in my own home. I moved through it silently, collecting details like evidence at a crime scene. She cried often, small, contained sobs behind closed doors. I never comforted her. I just listened. Her guilt was loud. It leaked through every apology, every half-hearted attempt to cook dinner, every message she deleted when she thought I wasn't watching. I didn't confront her again. I wanted her to believe she was forgiven, that I was soft, weak, that I was the kind of man who would patch a wound someone else had cut into him. Meanwhile, I planned. I looked at the tickets every night. They were supposed to mean love, a future. Now they meant something else, an ending wrapped in fire. I ordered a small velvet box online. Inside it, an empty slot where a ring would have been. I placed it on the coffee table, an unspoken monument to what she'd never receive. I booked a dinner reservation for her birthday anyway. I wanted to keep everything exactly as it would have been, only stripped of sincerity. Love turned into theater, affection turned into performance. Because sometimes the cleanest revenge isn't loud, it's quiet, precise, surgical. When the evening came, the apartment was dim. Rain fell in ribbons down the window. The Eiffel Tower's light fractured through each drop. She wore the dress I'd once said made her look like something I could never afford to lose. She sat across from me now, wrinkled, trembling, mascara smudged. "I don't know how to fix this," she whispered. Her voice cracked in the middle, like it had hit the edge of something sharp. I nodded slowly. "You can't." She stared at me, confused. That's when I reached into my coat pocket and pulled out the tickets. Laid them flat between us. "Paris," I said quietly. "Next month. Your birthday. I was going to propose." Her face fell apart in stages: shock, regret, disbelief. Tears welled instantly, as if she could drown the moment before it could breathe. "I didn't know," she whispered. "Please, don't." But I was already lighting the match. The flame danced at the tip of my fingers, small, harmless, then alive. I lowered it onto the tickets. They curled fast, like they were eager to disappear. She gasped, reaching out instinctively, but I pulled my hand back. "No," I said, calm, controlled. "Let them burn." The firelight flickered across her face, every tear catching the glow, every regret illuminated. She watched the edges blacken, the ashes fall onto the coffee table beside the closed ring box. "This was supposed to be yours," I murmured. I wasn't talking about the trip. She sobbed harder. "I made a mistake." I looked at her then, not as someone I loved, but as someone I finally understood. "You made a choice." Outside, thunder rolled through the city. Inside, the only sound was paper turning to dust. The fire reflected in her eyes like guilt given form. And for the first time since she confessed, I felt nothing. When the last ember died, the room fell into silence. She was still crying, whispering apologies into the smoke. I stood, picked up the empty ring box, and closed it firmly. "You wanted forgiveness," I said. "You got fire instead." Her breath hitched, a fragile sound that didn't reach me. I walked to the window. Rain blurred the city into watercolor. The Eiffel Tower's light shimmered in the distance, indifferent. Behind me, she called my name.